Henry Paul talks about being out in the Outlaws. He's now back in and leading the band, as a matter of fact. But he had to fight for the name of the band. There were legal papers involved. We also talk about some of the members that didn't make it out alive in the Outlaws. And a lot more with Henry Paul on Rock History Music.
And, you can't realize these things until you've arrived. I would say, and I say this with all candid, unguarded, truthfulness. Writing Dixie Highway, which was our second studio record under my leadership of the band from 2008 forward, was very, very important to me because it would ultimately be a record by which I personally would be judged. The songs, the character of the songs, the musicianship, the arrangements. The studio record before that, It's About Pride, was another record that was very important. It was the first record the band had released in a long, long, long time.
And it did well, right?
Yeah, that came out in 2012. And once I put that out there, we had our own ship to sail.
Yeah.
Before that, we were riding in somebody else's boat. But after It's About Pride, we had our own ship to sail. We had a wealth of really good songs that we put in the show. And then with Dixie Highway, it was like, well, Hank, you've proven your point. You were a creative catalyst of good for the Outlaws. And these two records bear out that assertion, that these two albums definitely state the importance you had in the original group and the fact that you were able to continue on at a late date in your life and still write and record good songs and make good records on them. And that was important to me, not only to put a great band out there to play Greengrass and High Tides, but to play these other songs and do it on a very professional level.
Full circle, it's amazing how things, I'm sure would you have believed someone when you were that first exit from the Outlaws, if someone were to whisper in your ear and told you that what you just said was going to happen, would you have believed them?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, for me, if you never give up, you never lose. And there was never, ever a moment where I ever even considered giving up on anything. And so to me, it was just a matter of time until the musical chairs got back around till it was for me to sit down. It was just a matter of time. And I don't say that arrogantly. I just know that I was going to be in it until I had it. I wasn't going to stop until I had a moment to prove myself within the context of my first love and my first musical impression on a professional level. I wanted closure on that. And I got it. And I remember I was sued in federal court for trademark violations by the widow of my musical partner, Huey Thomason. And I remember how it felt when I received those papers in the mail at the late date in my career. And I was thinking, really? Is this how this is going to end at the end of this long 40-plus year career? And the answer was no, that was not how it was going to end. That I had the right to do what I was doing, and I had the commitment and vision and work ethic to make sure it was done right. And whoever was on the other side of the ball in that confrontational moment was nowhere to be found when we were scrapping for a career that we dreamed of as young men. So if you weren't in the band in 1973, then you didn't have a say in how the band was going to manifest itself in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So Monty and I prevailed, and we were able to not only do what we wanted to do with the band, but we were able to put the band back in a very positive musical light. And I know for a fact, had it gone the other way, it wouldn't have happened that way. It wouldn't have been that. It would have been drugged through the mud. And That wasn't going to happen. There was no way it was going to happen because we were right. Monty and I were original members of the band. We had every right to pursue the band's musical future based on our control. And yeah, we love Huey. We're sorry he's gone. We love Billy. We're sorry he's gone. We love Frank. They're gone. We're going to do what we're going to do. And we did well by that. I think we made very good. I think we did really right by the opportunity we were given for the Outlaws and for the Outlaws fans, and still do.
Shorts, and then we'll be releasing the entire interview. It was a long hour and a half chat with Henry Paul, who was, of course, as you know, a big part of the Outlaws in their early incarnation. Then he left in the 70s, formed the Henry Paul Band, which was successful, and then the country trio Black Hawk, which still tours today. If you want information on Henry, there are links in the description. But man, in this series, does he tell good stories about knowing the Eagles, hanging out with Leonard Skinner, most notably Ronnie Van Zant, their lead singer, working with Clive Davis. There's so much in this series. If you're a Patreon member, you'll get early access to everything on here. It's pretty juicy stuff. And he's writing a book as well. Remember to pick up a Rock History Music t-shirt and hats. You can get your own Rock History Music baseball cap now. Join our Patreon, as I said, get early access to everything. Links in the description, our TikTok, check out the Facebook group for Rock History Music. Stay in contact with us, we'd love that. All the information's in the description. I'm John Beaudin, more from Henry Paul in the next 2-3 days. This is Rock History Music.